Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about data types in C language. First of all, what is a data type? In the declaration of every variable, it is mandatory to specify the data type. If you just look at the syntax of the variable declaration, you will understand. Syntax. Data type followed by identifier name. Identifier. This is the syntax of variable declaration. This is data type. This is identifier or variable name. What is a data type? For example, int a. For example, int a. We declare this is the declaration of data type, variable declaration. This is variable declaration. Int a is variable declaration. What is a data type? It is simply the representation of data. Simply, data type represents two things about a variable. First one, what type of data is allowed to store? Second one, how much memory is required to store the data? These two things described by data types. Now, many data types are available in C language. Here it is data type classified into three types. Now I will show the classification of data types. Classification of data types. There are three types in C language. First one primitive data types, second one derived data types, third one user defined data types. In primitive data types, there are integer data type, character data type, float data type, void data type. In derived data types, array, string, pointer, functions, some more are there. In user defined data types, structure, union, typedef, enum. So this is called classification. And here either derived and user defined data types discuss later. So data types means the primitive data types. So primitive data, now in this video we will discuss only about primitive data types. So primitive data types are again classified into so many data types. What are the types we will see? So subclassification of primitive data types. Primitive data types is divided into four types: integer data type, character data type, float data type, void. Again, integer is divided into three types: short, short int, long int. Character is divided into two types, signed char and unsigned char. Float is divided into three types, float, double, long double. Again, short is subdivided into two types, signed short and unsigned short. Integer, signed int, unsigned int. Long, divided into two types, signed long and unsigned long. One integer data type again subdivided into 6 types. Why this many types? Suppose we have to store one integer value, then these many data types are required. It depends on the data we storing and it depends on the size of the data. For example, suppose we have to store bank balance, example 5,000, 6,000. Then we required short is enough for, because the size is less only. 1 byte it required. Okay. Suppose you have to store phone number or account number, then we require byte is not sufficient. So that's why we need to go for long. The size of short, both signed and unsigned, is 2 bytes. For integer, both signed and unsigned, 2 or 4 bytes. It depends on the compiler we used. For 16-bit compiler, it is 2 bytes. For 32 bits, 4 bytes. Character data type, signed char and unsigned char both require 1 byte of memory. Float requires 4 bytes. Double requires 8 bytes. Long double requires 10 bytes. Void, if you not want to return any value, so that why we need to go for void. This is also a data type. What means signed and unsigned? What is the meaning of signed and unsigned? Signed means whether the value will be positive or negative. If unsigned means we specified the name data type as unsigned, then it will store only positive values. For example, I want to store 10 value in my variable. I require 1 byte of memory. One byte memory is sufficient. If you use, then short is enough for storing this 10 variable. If you can use with long data type also, but the memory is wasted here. Long means 4 bytes. You are wasting 3 bytes of memory in your program. The performance of the application will reduce. So that we will, based on the requirement, we will use the data type. Suppose you need to store account number, then short is not sufficient for storing account number. So that's why we need to go for long. Thank you for watching my videos.